This video will be touching on sensitive topics, ranging from suicide to abortion. Viewer discretion is advised. Church of Euthanasia. Leader, Chris Corder. 1992. Boston, Massachusetts. Slogan: Save the planet. Kill yourself. The church called themselves a non-profit educational foundation to aid in restoring balance between humans and the other species on Earth. They consider their methods to be comparable to the methods used in the Dadaist movement. They view the world as ridiculous, so the way they share their message must be ridiculous as well. The inspiration of the church came to Chris Corder in a dream. In this dream, he met an alien intelligence who was called the Being. The Being asked some questions that made Chris open his eyes a bit more. Chris was asked why the world's leaders lied to society and why society believed all of it. The Being also shared that the ecosystem is failing despite what our leaders were telling us. At a young age, Corder was influenced by global climate change, particularly an article in the New York Times informing about global warming and how it will be irreversible. Corder thought the only solution to save the planet was voluntary population reduction. The Church's first and only commandment is, "Thou shalt not procreate." There was strict enforcement on this commandment. You would be excommunicated if you procreated. The website states the 4 pillars are: suicide, optional, however encouraged; abortion, required to avoid procreation; cannibalism, obligatory if you choose to eat flesh; the person must be dead already; sodomy, optional, highly encouraged. Those 4 pillars sound very blunt. So to be clear and expand briefly, the Church does not encourage abortion as a form of birth control. If a member were to have found themselves pregnant, the choice would be abortion or excommunication. Sodomy is defined as any sexual act that is not intended to procreate. There was a firm vegan or vegetarian diet for the members of the Church. This is why the cannibalism pillar exists. If you need to eat flesh, you should eat human flesh. However, there were no documented cases of any member actually taking part in cannibalism. In 1995, the Church began to endorse suicide as an option to fix the planet. And in December of that year, the Church bought a billboard in Dorchester and advertised a suicide assistance hotline, along with the message, "Helping you every step of the way. Thousands helped. How about you?" The phone company never activated the line due to the nature of the service. A woman killed herself in 2003. She was allegedly with a paper printed with instructions from the Church's website. I believe this is the only presumed death in connection with the Church of Euthanasia. The alleged printout from the website would connect the Church to her suicide. The website encourages leaving a note, thanking or blaming the Church, and even adds, to will the Church any estate. It is said that if you choose that route, do it after you remember, because you will become a saint. During an anti-abortion protest in Boston in 1996, the Church displayed their pro-abortion signs in an attempt to provoke the pro-lifers. Not long after, they made an appearance at a clinic with the same signs from the previous protest, as well as a 15-foot banner that read, "Eat a queer fetus for Jesus." They invaded a few more anti-abortion protests, following the same method of evoking a reaction. Members of the group would protest a lot, and they had quite the theatrical performances alongside their bizarre signs. There was even a fake organization created to attract anti-abortion protesters to a made-up protest of fetal trafficking at a sperm bank. The church appeared on the iconic Jerry Springer show, which gave Chris and the church a fair bit of attention. The church made its final public appearance in 2000 at the Bio 2000 conference in Boston. 40 members attended. The organizers of the protest ended Chris's display quickly. Chris said that it turned violent. Chris was attacked by the other group that was protesting. Corder had enough of the hate they would receive and eventually started to lay low. There is no definitive number to how many members there were or are. Thousands have formally taken a vow to never procreate. Chris considered the church to be an e-church. They did not own any real estate or have any formal location for members to visit. It was all done online. There were supporters all over the world, thanks to the reach the internet has. The members online were called e-members. Some former members of the Church of Euthanasia continue to support these views, even though the church no longer exists. The church's activity started to plummet in the early 2000s. There is no clear reason as to why this was. There were potential legal problems that may have contributed to the church's demise. When the Missouri woman committed suicide in 2003, a St. Louis attorney, Jennifer Joyce, threatened to pursue legal action. The church would have faced charges of voluntary manslaughter and a criminalized assisted suicide charge, which is a felony. When asked about this in an interview with Vice, Corder gave a very formal, undisclosed answer. That interview will be linked below. Another reason may have been that it was just getting too risky. They were playing on the line of legality at this point. The church officially became inactive in 2015. However, the website still remains available for people to view. Corder still holds these beliefs close, with the hope of still being able to make a positive impact on the world. The website is a typical late 90s, early 2000s style webpage. It is basic and bland. It has a live population counter on the left-hand side of the website. There are a number of headings at the top, like frequently asked questions, e-sermons, a family album, with disturbing hyperlink names, and few more common website menu options. Despite being quite plain, the website is chilling. The thought of people going to that page to look for help is saddening. It is unknown how many people actually committed suicide using the church's methods. Some say that the church is a joke, but this is a very harmful message to send. It is such an extreme solution to a problem that is not that simple. Save the planet, but you don't need to kill yourself. Numbers to suicide prevention hotlines will be listed below, as well as online resources. You never know who may need it.